2000, Mark Corley was reported missing from his home in Grantham, Lincolnshire. Lincolnshire police were to launch a murder investigation and persons were arrested, although Mark's body had not been found. Mark's body was found on the 13th of December 2000 by some farm workers cleaning out a ditch adjacent to a bridleway south of Bolam, County Durham, approximately 150 miles away from Mark's Grantham home. 13 years on, his death is still unsolved. Here we look at where the body was found. Mark's body was found west of the B6275, 3 fields over from the road. Mark was supposedly the victim of a gangland killing. If this was the case, why dispose of the body down a bridleway? A bridleway is a public right of way, so you would expect members of the public to be passing down it. Surely, if you want to conceal a body, you want it away from where the public are going to be. So why was Mark brought all this way from Grantham to a bridleway situated between 2 farms? Late at night, it could easily arouse suspicion of cattle rustling. Why stop here and head west? When opposite to the east is a public footpath and a wooded area. We are now going to go along the bridleway to where the body was found. It appears that the gate has not been opened recently. Over the fence, there is no indication of where you may dispose of a body. In the adjacent field there is sheep, but as you walk along you have no idea what you are going to come across. Just up the road north was a field with sheep in it, but also had got some cows. If the beast with the big horns was here, I certainly would not be. The ground is not level, and apart from the camera being carried, there's just a tripod. Imagine what it would be like if you was carrying a body. And here's a hole which could easily make you trip and fall. If you was carrying a gun and were to trip, you could accidentally pull the trigger. It wouldn't be normal to be walking down this route late at night with a light, and spotting a light across the fields would surely arouse suspicions. The sheep in the adjacent field have just started running. Why is not known, but it could again arouse suspicion of the farmer. is another hole and a possible trip hazard. The second gate is tied up with rope. To pass by is to squeeze through between the post and the piece of stone. Over the fence, there is no indication of where you may dispose of a body. The third gate, fastened to by a piece of chain hooked onto a nail. But again, difficult to push open. Still, as we progress, no apparent place to leave and conceal a body, even when you look over the fence. "7 minutes of walking, and still no sign of where you could leave and conceal a body. But how did you know ahead there was to be such a place?" left is a gate, and it is through this small gate that the bridal way progresses, and it was just past the gate, aside the bridal way, in the ditch, that Mark's body was found. This can hardly be seen now, as it's overgrown. It is very difficult to get the gate open, and it appears that nobody has passed this way recently. Today, the ditch is overgrown. But how did you know 3 fields over that this place existed? 13 years ago, was the bridal way used more frequently than it is today? And if there has been a decline in usage, why has this come about? And why go through the gate and leave the body alongside a bridal way and not progress further? It would appear that where the body was placed, it was placed by somebody who had local knowledge of the area. Did any of those arrested by the police have such knowledge?